Well, hello. Today I'd like to talk to you about the Moonman Mini Wancai. This is a nice little pocket pen with a really attractive finish. So let's dive into it. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, do you have a favorite pocket pen? Perhaps you have a favorite Chinese pocket pen. Let us know down in the comments. So, I am not much of a pocket pen user except in the summer, especially when I'm wandering around. I might wear just a t-shirt and shorts depending on what I'm doing. So, a pocket pen makes sense. Or, as I film this, I'm preparing for a visit to Fargo, to the NDSU campus, where I'll be walking around all day and I like to pack light. So, I decided I'm going to just take along a couple of pocket pens, just throw them in my pocket, and that's where they're going to be. So this is going to be one of them. This will be my daily writer type pen that'll temporarily take the place of my Lamy 2000. So let's take a look at it. First thing, it looks really stumpy. The reason it looks stumpy is because it's little. Yeah, now we put it to scale next to a Platinum 3776, you can see that it is a smaller pen. When you post it, which you just about have to do, we'll get to the finish and stuff first. Suddenly, looks pretty respectable. And really, that's the magic of a pocket pen. Just to put it in comparison with a couple of others, I happen to have with me a Kaweco Skyline Sport, which is a little longer. And I have a cute little Kaweco Lilliput. Another review that I'm filming in this batch tonight. So you can see kind of how it places. It's thicker around than the Lilliput, kind of comparable to the Kaweco Sport. Kaweco Sport's a little longer. Actually, I guess the Lilliput is just a hair longer. But a pretty respectable pen once posted. Because pocket pens are really obnoxious to use when they're not posted. So let's take a closer look at the pen. So it comes in a very attractive finish. I used to lust after a certain Edison pen with a similar finish. I didn't end up buying it, but I lusted. Has a nice place on the finial for screwing on the cap. So it's not a slip like the Kaweco Sport. It's a screw-on thingy like a TWSBI Mini and such. But makes a very compact package. It's an eyedropper filler, which your mileage may vary, but the benefit of that is you have quite the ink capacity. In fact, the first time I filled this, which was last summer, I put Colorverse Nights on Series. At least I think that's what it was called. Something about series anyway. There's a reddish ink in it, and I had it in there forever, and I was getting so bored with it. And then I'd let the pen sit for a while because I'm bored with this color. And then I'd pull it up a couple weeks later, and it's writing again, and just would start up without a problem. So good seal on this pen if you get bored with the ink. Just let it sit till it's interesting again. So it actually makes a very good pocket pen, although I guess it's a little annoying seeing all the splishy splashes inside the cap, but whatever. So screw the post, and then you have an iridium point nib from Germany. And I think you see a little hint of the Nights on series in the threads in there. The silicone grease that helps seal the pen. So that's what the pen looks like. Let's see how it writes. So with this nib in it, it's not the most amazing writing experience. Not a bad one. No flex or anything. It sometimes feels a little draggy across the paper, but not a bad writing experience. The ink in it is Noodler's Heart of Darkness, which is a good daily writer ink. As far as flex, I told you there's none. But there is a surprising amount of line variation to this pen. So that's a nice surprise. As far as wetness and flow, your mileage may vary depending on your ink. But in general, your pen's not going to have any trouble keeping up. The smear test, which even more so is a test of the ink and paper. It's wet enough, not amazing, but there it is. And reverse writing. A very smooth but very pale extra fine. We'll do a longer form quote. I'm picking this one because the reason this pen was inked up in the first place is because I'm about to go traveling to Fargo. I mislaid my little glass thing that usually holds the pens in place, so that was a bit of a struggle. So that's the Moonman Mini Wancai. This is a pen that fits in your pocket. Could put it in this one, but it doesn't have a clip, so I'm not going to do that usual test that I would do. One test which I did forget to do is the famous Pierre Gustafson test. So let's do that one. All right, one more test worth doing is the famous Pierre Gustafson test, where we see how the pen handles a continuous flow when used rapidly. And I would say, not excitingly, but it handles it. So that's the Moonman Mini Wancai Chinese pen. I am excited to see this nice finish on it. I think it's putting something a little unique into the pocket pen market. I know Kaweco has some very good pens, very nice finishes in their sport models, just not where I typically buy from. But if you follow ODE, Objetos de Escrito, who's a Portuguese reviewer, he has quite an impressive collection of Kawecos, including a collection of vintage Kawecos. So I'd encourage you to check him out if you want to see some of the other finishes Kaweco has. So I'm excited to see some nice finishes in this pen. Again, it's an exciting entry to the pocket pen market. I normally would do a test where I put it in my breast pocket, but you know what? No pen clip, so what really would be the point? So yeah, that's Moonman Mini Wancai. I will be using it in Fargo, and then I'm probably going to let it wander around fully inked and occasionally take it with me when I need a pocket pen, because it holds a good seal. Is it exciting? No. One of my temptations is to look for a different nib for it, a Knox nib, because it looks like it's a number 5. So maybe find a different nib so I can get just a nicer writing experience than that generic nib that's on it. Not that it's bad, it's just kind of draggy and uninspiring. Then on the other hand, with a pen like this, maybe why bother? So who knows? But anyway, videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens, both new and old, and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, do you have a pocket pen you like? Perhaps a Chinese pocket pen that surprised you? Let us know in the comments down below. So I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.